Okay, we are live. Welcome to 6G Agenda. I'm your host, Andrew, here again with Justin Ward on the chords. He is back.
Yo,
Fuck yeah. And we talk about what they want. And today is a special occasion. Unfortunately, we lost out on a guest. So we're going to reschedule that for next week. So improvising, not really, because I had this one planned anyway. So I'm even more excited kind of right now to do the symbolism episode today. So let's do it. It'll be fun. First off, there's been some episodes that got removed on Spotify. We mentioned this the other day. By the time this comes out on Monday on Spotify, if you're listening on Spotify, everything will be back on there. If you're listening right now live, then we're working on it and it'll be done by the end of the weekend. But yeah, if you're on YouTube, then you probably have already heard the episodes because YouTube, we didn't have a problem. It was mainly Spotify. So we're getting those episodes back up and that's coming out soon. We've had a lot of support, so thank you everybody for the good love comments. Please, if you haven't, like, share, kind of give us a good review on Apple, rate. We've kind of got to counterbalance some of the haters. We got our first 2 stars the other day, dude. They weren't a fan of
yeah,
that Tech Bros.
I just looked at it, but it is what it
It
is.
happens. I mean, I
Someone
think
shat on
smashing a
me
two
on
star, smashing
Spotify
it,
the other day, so it is what it is.
yeah.
They're gonna be there.
I think smashing a 2 star like that, it's pretty wild, but it's cool. I'm just kidding. It's all right because we got plenty of good ones, and most people seem to love it. And if you hear something that's maybe like flawed or maybe like not your thing, more than likely we're working on making it better. Whether it's delivery, structure, contact, all of that. So, I'm trying to improve. This is something we're still new at, so we're always improving.
Yeah,
And Rome wasn't built in a day, but hey, we got information that we're trying to get out in a way that the best way we can. And I'm always trying to improve my
yeah,
delivery and we're always trying to improve our research. So like I said, if you ever hear something that's not your thing, chances are we're kind of working on it too. So we're always trying to improve.
yeah. We don't just sit down at the computer and press go. We do talk about the shit behind the scenes
Yeah.
sometimes, from
We
time
try
to
not to
time.
half-ass it. So but yeah, we try to maintain a good balance of kind of chill and then also deep dive. So let's do this symbolism shit. So before we do our Mystery Babylon series, which is coming up, I thought it was great to get into some symbolism, especially the Freemasonic sort. And with our book club, we're kind of reading the secret teachings, so it's perfect. It's all at once. I feel like the best way to kind of learn this, because it's a lot of tough. I mean, it's just a lot of conceptual shit.
Mm,
That reading the secret teachings of all ages in the book club while we start the Mystery Babylon series soon, and then kind of before that, do this symbolism stuff. I think that'll all build a really good foundation for understanding when it comes to like, I don't know, moving forward,
mm.
It's I think it'll be the best way to do it. So without further ado, let's get into symbolism. The language of the mysteries, symbolism. So mysteries, if you don't know, mystery schools goes back to Babylon, but mainly in Egypt, practiced very heavily. Mainly Pial wrote that the symbols are the language of the soul. So a universal medium for kind of transmitting a message that's too sacred to even be able to speak. Like you can't even put it into words. So a lot of times symbols like a mandala, like the lotus flower for Buddhism, for instance, when
Hmm.
you meditate on that particular flower with the mandala, it's said to have the symbolism said to touch and like give you some kind of like primordial understanding after time goes on of doing it. That's symbolism. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Touches you on a subconscious level. And eventually, upon meditation on a symbol that is kind of divine, supposedly you can kind of access that subconscious understanding. So symbolism can be kind of important. I mean, I think it's pretty cool. I like
Yeah.
it. So the ancients encoded cosmic and spiritual knowledge into art, myth, and ritual because truth had to be protected from the profane and preserved for the initiated. Now, why is that? Well, the mystery schools teach that when confronted with a problem requiring one to use reasoning faculties, there are two types of people. There's an individual, or there's the type of individuals rather that have strong intellect who kind of keep their poise and they seek to reach a solution by obtaining facts. And then there's another individual that becomes more immature mentally and kind of gets overwhelmed. And so they believe that the strong intellect can solve the riddles of their own destiny, while the rest must be led like flocks of sheep and taught in simple language. And this is the profane, right? We talk about this many times, but yeah, this is the good layout here. They believe
Mm.
thoughtlessness is synonymous with childlessness or childishness. So, pretty much, if you don't think for yourself, you're just a child. And you could just be treated like a child and let along.
Makes
So,
sense.
yeah, I know. I mean, I kind of get it, you know what I mean, to an extent, but it's like who's the bearer of deciding who the you know, people that think for them, because what's funny to me is the same people that say most people don't think for themselves, so we need to lead them along, are the ones that propagandize those people into being programmed into like crazy people and radicals.
Yeah.
And so to me, it seems that they're using that as an excuse to essentially herd people along into their, their will under their whim.
Interesting.
So thoughtfulness is a symbol of maturity to them. And therefore, the few mature minds in the world are shown the esoteric teachings of the spiritual and philosophic doctrines, while the rest are incapable of appreciating the deeper mysteries of life. So they're shown the exoteric or the literal interpretations. So, yeah, that's kind of the gist of why we have symbolism, what we call hoodwinked, where they kind of hide the truth under like a lullaby story, right? Like you have something like Little Red Riding Hood or something, right?
Yeah.
There's deeper meaning in there than just like, her just going into the woods in a wolf, right?
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, let's get to welcome everybody that's in the chat. Thank you for coming through. Equilibrium, right on. Love symbolism as well.
Yo.
I'm the living man. Thank you, man. We're working hard, dude. We're doing our thing. I hope everybody's enjoying. We're gonna get into some deep shit here in a minute. So symbolism is not just a decoration, like for a crest. You know what I mean? There's a lot of encrypted, hiding science, psychology, metaphysics, all in plain sight. So the foundational idea, like of say something like as above, so below. We can go into that for an example that I have. Everything symbolic flows from that hermetic axiom, which is as above, so below. I'm sure a lot of people have heard it. It's the idea that the macrocosm or the universe mirrors the microcosm or the man. So, like Da Vinci's man, a lot of people have seen the man that's like looks like he's doing jumping jacks almost.
Yeah.
That's supposed to represent the microcosm of the universe, which would be the macro, right? Da Vinci was one of the mystery school. He was an adept as
Mm.
well. Have you ever heard that?
What, that he was an adept, or about the little dancing dude?
Like the reason for that, yeah, the Da Vinci's man. Have you ever heard like the reason why he made that?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, like most people just see it and they're like, yeah, okay, it's an anatomy thing. And it's like, no, it has nothing to do with that. It's like that's the literal interpretation for the profane.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so the hidden idea is that it's actually the macro of the micro of the macro, which would be the universe, because they believe that proportionally, like we are the universe in some weird
Yeah.
way. So understanding one thing will reveal how the other thing works. And so every myth about gods battling or worlds being born is really about inner forces that are within us or our own consciousness rising through chaos towards the light. At least that's what Manly P. Hall says. And that's why Hall says that the temples of Egypt and Greece were built in the proportions of man, and the temple of the body mirroring the temple of the cosmos. So they kept the as above, so below. That's why you always see the sacred geometric, like they're always perfectly dimensioned,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's the pyramids or like a temple or whatever. They
Yeah.
always have these certain dimensions that line up with like how far you would measure space, or
Right.
planets from each other. So speaking of that, did you hear that the Seven Sisters, the Pleiades, which is a very important star cluster, There's like some alignment with like the full moon that's been going on. That's going on
No,
tonight.
I didn't hear nothing about that.
Gonna be some odd shit going on. I guarantee it tonight. Next
Okay.
couple days, dude. Guarantee it. Some
Some
weird
weird
stuff.
shit.
It's been some weird energy the past couple days with the full wolf moon, and I don't know. It's just been weird energy.
Yeah. Kind of has felt like I felt off the past couple of days.
Yeah. So the body, mind, soul, and spirit. These are the triads that appear everywhere. For instance, the Trinity that everybody knows about, like Osiris, Isis, Horus, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, or Father, Son, Holy Spirit. They all point to the threefold nature of reality, which is body, mind, body, mind, and spirit. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that is wild.
Yeah. So body is the world of form, illusion, and time. Your soul represents the bridge between worlds, and your spirit is the eternal, unmanifested source, or that divine spark within you, right? Exactly. Equilibrium's great, dude. He knows what he's talking about. Three wise men. Yeah, they follow the star though. What is the star that they follow? I mean, that represents Lucifer. If you believe that story, I don't know. Because they follow the star of Bethlehem. Wait, maybe I'm tripping.
I wonder if the
Hold on.
story in Star Wars is any way related or like based off of that. It's the father, the son, and the daughter, and it refers to the Mortis gods, and
Hmm.
they're like these like all powerful beings in the Force.
Yeah.
Hmm.
The morning star. I wonder the morning star isn't the same as Bethlehem, but they were magi, which is kind of what made me say that. I mean, they were magi, so that's kind of like Bethlehem is the morning star though. Uh Actually, Star of Bethlehem with the morning star designation, the Star of Bethlehem is a celestial event. Yeah, I knew that, but okay. Yep, it's just that particular instance where they guided them to Jesus. But they were three magi, and yeah, it probably does represent that kind of concept of body, mind, soul, etc. But yeah, geometry and the divine blueprint. So there's a lot of like the circle, triangle. Whenever you look at alchemy, um, like the Harry Potter logo, like a
Yeah.
triangle with a square within a circle. That's the exact alchemical logo, which is very similar. You could pull it up if you want for anybody that hasn't seen it. Or I could pull it up, it doesn't matter. But yeah, the alchemical logo essentially is a triangle, square, circle, all within each other. And we'll get into what all that means. But if I can find the alchemical, oh, here it is. Perfect. Here, I'll put this up for you guys. Here it is. So it's a circle, triangle, square, circle. And then it keeps repeating, right? So you get triangle, square, circle again and again and again. So the circle is eternity, perfection, and the infinite source, whereas the triangle would be manifestation. The square is the material world that we like live in, the four elements, right? The four sides in the fixed order of the world. And then the pentagram, the perfected man. But yeah, that's the alchemical, but we'll get into the pentagram in a second. But yeah, have you ever seen that sign? The alchemical logo?
No, you talking about it being in Harry Potter?
Yeah, so there's a similar one in Harry Potter, but they have like a slit that goes down like the circle. It's not the exact same, but I'm saying that it's a play on the symbol
Uh,
of the alchemical symbol. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Because what is it? What is the Harry Potter one? It's like the
I don't even know. I couldn't
triangle.
find. I couldn't find it.
Oh, really?
No. Yeah.
Here, hold on.
I mean,
I got
you
you,
do
bro.
your
How come
magic,
I can?
but
How come I can always find shit, dude? How come I know where to find shit? Check this out. Check this out. Boom. Very similar, a little bit different.
what the oh, okay.
That's the Deathly Hollow symbol,
Deathly Hollow shit.
which is very funny to me that it's the Deathly Hollow symbol because, you know, it relates to the alchemical shit. It's like they're telling you, without telling you. Like a lot of times fictional movies seem to have a lot more of the reality aspect of it
Yeah.
because you aren't going to believe that that's real. You know what I mean?
Damn, dude, my Google's on bullshit at all times.
Yeah, we know who makes the movies. Damn right, they
Fucking
all
love
have
that shit.
symbolism in it. So everything's symbolic. Let's get down to this. Yeah, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, the pentagram, the perfected man, microcosm, harmonized with the cosmos. So we could get into the pentagram a little bit deeper, but essentially it's the five elements. You also have five fingers, so that's the macro micro, right?
Mm.
That kind of goes into that. So then that's where you use magic. What do you use for magic? A lot of times you use elements that come from nature, right? Which are the five elements. You see what I mean? And so whether it's fire, water, um, blood, if you're doing like black magic or fucked up shit, right? So
Yeah.
that's where it gets into other shit. But yeah, it gets really wild. But that is kind of where the pentagram, kind of why it's used for magic all the time. And then you got to do it under a certain moon phase because it gets into all that weird shit. I
Mm.
don't do any of that. Just saying, this is how the reason why symbolism matters too, because they're also hiding in the symbolism magical rites, rites, right? Rites. So the hexagram or the Star of David, Seal of Solomon, union of the opposites, heaven descending to the earth. That's why it's pretty obvious who worships the fallen. Well, the ones that just obsess with that concept.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The fall of man, right? So in temples and mystery rituals, these shapes weren't symbolic in an abstract way. They actually were used as vibrational kind of maps a lot of times. So Hall ties nearly all ancient religions to this solar allegory, this idea of the sun's daily and yearly cycles that reflect man's journey through life and death. So during the day, right? So the sun is born in the morning, and then he's like middle-aged man in the afternoon, and then
Yeah.
he dies at night, right? So you have the three-phase sun as well. So this is what they how they think. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? Same thing with the moon. You have three phases to the moon, essentially. You have the waning, waxing, and full.
Right.
If you just the bare minimum, right?
Yeah.
And so it's that same kind of concept. So the serpent, often demonized later, was originally the symbol of wisdom and energy because the serpent gave wisdom over to the people, in the garden, if you look at it this way. Because again, remember, we're reading from the concept of the Masons and from these people that believe in this stuff. So
Yeah.
keep in mind, these are not my how I feel, just reading off what it is. The eye of Horus, the all seeing eye, the third eye, all symbolize awakening, the spiritual vision that perceives truth beyond illusion. And
Hmm.
so the pineal gland was seen as the seat of the soul, as we talked about the other day, because it bridges inner and outer worlds. Illumination, therefore, isn't a metaphorical thing in their eyes. It was literal inner light that you could perceive through expanding your consciousness.
Weird.
That's what they believe. That's illumination, right? Inner
Mm.
light that you perceive through expanding your consciousness. That's illumination. That's why the Illuminati believe in this Luciferian concept. It all makes sense, doesn't it? This is why I look at it the way I do. Once you start hearing like this is what how they feel, dude.
Yeah.
So the Masons, the eye in the triangle is the same concept. The divine spark within man watches from the center of the soul. But we'll get into how the materialistic kind of we'll get into it as we go down. So I'm just laying down kind of what they believe, but then we'll get into how some of this sounds good and some of this may be used for good, but it can be inverted and fucked with. And we'll get into that. Pardon me. But yeah, so the death and the rebirth, all ancient initiations, as we talked about when I talked about George H.W. Bush saying, if you're asking if I've been born again, the answer is yes.
Mm.
That's this whole death and rebirth in the Eleusinian mysteries. Osiris writes in the Eleusinian mysteries, reenact the symbolic death of the lower self and the rebirth of the higher self. And so the coffin, tomb, or the cave are like the womb, and they're all like the same symbol as each other. So the chamber of transformation, essentially. You go back into the womb. And that's why it gets back into this whole sex cult ritual stuff,
Yeah.
because it's this transformation into the womb, the manifestation of being new, the birth of a new. it's a wild, dude. Could you imagine living your life like this? Dude, like,
It'd be
you know what I
fucking
mean?
wild. Dude, I'm sorry. I look like I'm glaring at you, but I'm really just trying to keep it to where I'm not looking like a cyborg.
Oh, dude, you're straight. Yeah, you're fine. You're not glaring. Yeah, what up? What up? Here, we'll take a little cruise to the chat. What's up, Cake in the Cup? Welcome, welcome. It is true, equilibrium. It's all true. Yeah, the force. Equilibrium may not have been here whenever we were talking about what's it called?
Not
What?
entirely equilibrium, not entirely.
Oh yeah, he ain't baked enough. He only hit the bowl once before we started. So no, but yeah, we did talk about Star Wars, like the Gnostic concepts in Star Wars and everything, equilibrium on a different episode, but we'll go into that another time again. We're great, Suede. How are you? Welcome, welcome. You know how we get down, Living Man? You know how we get down? Speaking of symbols, look at Living Man's picture. Hell
Facts.
yeah. I think actually everybody on here kind of has symbols. The old
Kinda, yeah.
Libra scale.
I've
Fuck yeah,
peeped
welcome
all
everybody.
the profile pictures.
Fucking I and L. Okay, so when they rise, they are spiritually resurrected in this death and rebirth ritual. And so the phoenix represents this. The Christ represents this. And also the sun being reborn in pagan worship represents that. Were you guys on the light side and the dark side of the force? I've heard a very convincing argument that Luke was on the evil side. Yeah, the reason why they say that is because they never destroy the dark side. They keep a balance, and that's how you know it's still Luciferian, because you can't have dark without light. That's a Luciferian concept. Whereas if you actually read the Bible, it talks about how there is no darkness where my light shines. So therefore, in God's word, it literally refutes the whole Luciferian concept of you have to have darkness with light. So therefore, because in Star Wars, they have to bring a balance to the force and you can't destroy one without the other, that itself is a Luciferian concept. That's why people argue that they're actually not good.
Yeah.
Justin, you're a fan of Star Wars. What do you think?
Well, I mean, like in I guess he does bring balance to the force, but yeah, like Luke wasn't entirely good either. Um, because he did tap into the dark side to fucking kill, well, not
Mm-hmm.
kill, but he was going to kill his dad, but then he was like, "You know what? Nah, I'm good." And then by doing that, then fucking Vader can fulfill the prophecy and bring balance. But
By
then there
dying.
was by
I'm just
well,
kidding. By
no, not
throwing
by
the Sith. I know. By
by
throwing
killing the
Palpatine.
Sith and then returning as the Jedi. Um,
But at the end of the
which I
day,
mean,
the whole concept
yeah,
of many times it was said that you can't destroy one without destroying the other. I mean, they kind of held that pretty heavy. You know what I mean? Like you had to keep a balance.
but the whole time, according to the new movies, darkness was brewing in the shadows the whole time. So there really was
Yeah.
balance.
I'm pretty sure Luke was it. I don't think Luke was the one that had the first one to have entitled kids. I think Anakin was the first one to have entitled kids. Because Anakin's the one who had Luke and Leia, right? So they would be the ones
Yeah,
who
well, I mean, yeah.
just thinking about that. I was like, I don't even remember Luke having kids. Oh yeah, because later no, he never had kids.
No, he never had kids.
He helped his
In
sisters.
Legends,
Yeah.
he had kids,
All right.
but
So
not
the
in
building
canon.
symbols, let's get to a little bit more.
Woke
In
me
the
up a
epoch
little
of
bit
how
with
the
Star
movies
Wars.
were delivered. Hell yeah, dude, Star Wars fire, dude. I mean, it used to be fire. Disney takes it, destroys it. Come on. It's like, the opposite of Midas. So the building symbols, stone, temple, light, right? The idea of stone, temple, and light. Hall's Masonic chapters tie back to the idea that man himself is the unfinished temple. This is very important for people that are listening. The rough stone, because gets into the whole black stone in Mecca, because they base their whole idea of worshiping the black stone off of their writings, which is in more than one document. It's in the Bible and the Quran that talks about a polished, smooth stone, right? And what it's referring to, a polished ashlar or a stone, is the perfected consciousness. It's symbolic of consciousness, right? And so the builder, Hiram Abiff or Hermes, is the soul as the divine architect within oneself that builds up, right? It's the whole idea of alchemy. It's all Luciferian shit.
Mm,
But also, like I said, dude, you could use some of that for some growth, you know? I mean, I
right.
feel like there's got to be something there that is kind of spiritually true, but it's been adulterated and, and perverted, just like Christianity.
Mm,
As a matter of fact, whenever we get back into the secret teachings on Monday, the chapter we're going to get into will describe how over time the mysteries have been destroyed and all the philosophical spiritual teachings, it's like a shell of what it was. And so therefore you can't really get the core of it, and that's why I can't get into anything 100% because I understand that, right?
yeah.
So that's important. Symbols are maps of consciousness. Every symbol, whether it's the cross, the labyrinth, is really describing the psychic and spiritual anatomy of man. Hall says that when one learns to read symbols, books are no longer necessary because you can look at a cathedral, a myth, or a tarot card and read it like an x-ray of reality itself. And so
Well,
symbols would be living architects. And they don't tell you what to think. They activate memory of what you already have in your mind. And this is all Manly P. Hall again. And so symbolism of Atlantis and the lost mystery school's wisdom. That's what we kind of went over some Atlantis shit. So I kind of incorporated some of the symbolism from Atlantis into this as well.
mm,
Because we're fresh off Atlantis. So let's get to, let me find it. Atlantis represents more than a sunken continent. It's the fall of man's inner continent, right? Hall
mm,
interprets it through the Hermetic lens, not literal. As above, so below, as within, so without concept. So you have to remember that. And that's why he doesn't think it's just a literal place that fell. So the Atlantean cataclysm symbolizes the collapse of the divine order within human consciousness. And when the soul lost its alignment with the cosmic law, the outer world, the cities, temples, all sank, and humanity forgot the language of the gods, the symbolism itself. So, when the soul lost its alignment with the cosmic law, the outer world also fell. Humanity lost touch with the language of the gods, and the symbolism made no sense to them. Does that make sense?
yeah.
So there's a point in time
Mm,
where humanity lost its spiritual nature and became more how we are kind of today. And
yeah.
that's why Manly PR argues that we really are a shell of what it used to be because we've destroyed it by being apart from so long.
We've lost connection.
Yes. And that's why you see temples across the world that are old, that a lot of places that, they say they inherited them, like the Mayas and whatnot. And
Mm,
it's like, yeah, because the super advanced one, like they were so detached from their higher conscious selves, allegedly, right?
yeah.
So that's the idea there. So the priest kings and the two Atlantean lineages also play a part in this. So there's the solar priests. This is what I was going to get to earlier. The keepers of the mysteries, these people that are aligned with divine law, they preserved cosmic science, geometry, sound, and all that stuff, right? Sound healing and everything. But again, they only could save so much because there were so many material kings or black magicians who turned divine science into domination. And that's what we're ruled by today, enslaving lesser tribes through psychic and like kind of technological control, but more paganistic control back then, right? Like
Yeah.
predicting when an eclipse would happen so you can say God's going to kill everybody, right? And so that's kind of the inversion of a good, right? So, yeah.
Dude, imagine the first solar eclipse when someone said God's coming to kill everyone.
Oh
That
my
must have been
God.
a trip.
They went for that shit, bro. You know they went for that shit.
They were probably running wild in the streets.
Yeah. I mean, material ambition took over and spiritual stewardship just went away, dude. And Atlantis sealed its fate. And then after that, the metaphysical root of the flood essentially is that they lost their connection. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And then after that, it kind of spread across and you had like remnants of it from these good people that kept it. But it just kind of, they had to hide it from the ruling people of most of the world. So over time, it just naturally just dissolves,
Mm.
which is pretty shitty.
kind of like when in Halo the flood came and like took over the fucking Forerunners and like kind of killed them.
God, dude, why do they do that with every video game? They always do that shit. They're like, we're gonna fucking tell the story. And again, dude, it gets into this, what we talked about earlier, that the profane get this, like, you know what I mean? You get the literal real version whenever you play a video game thinking that it's all fantasy. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
You get like the closest thing to reality when you think it's fully fantasy.
Dude, me playing that game the first time, I'm like, how do they come up with this shit?
Yeah.
And then I fucking get to talking to you. I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, that's how they had a little script. They had some inspiration.
Facts. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. They know what they're doing. Fuck yeah. Yeah, so the symbolic geography,
Hell yeah, Halo.
we'll skip past that. I mean, yeah, we went into that the other day. So after the cataclysm, Hall states that Atlantean initiates scattered across the world, as I mentioned earlier, though good ones, and rebuilt rather the old science in a veiled form under symbology. And that's where we get to what we're talking about now with symbolism. And that's why the same sacred architecture appears in Egypt, Mesoamerica, cathedrals like the Gothic cathedrals in Sumeria. All these places have similar things going on. And that's why, he says,
Mm,
because of the spread of that. And they became the archetypal masters of the works of the world. And they encoded the Atlantean wisdom into stone, myth, and mystery drama. So, like, even most of Shakespeare's dramas, right?
mhm.
Like, deep, deep shit. Like, I don't even know how I'd even decode that. Like, I feel like I'm getting there with a lot of this stuff, but that shit's crazy.
Yeah, I get an aneurysm trying to read anything from Shakespeare.
You know, that was probably Francis Bacon was really
Yeah,
Shakespeare.
yeah, I think we talked about that
Yeah.
before.
According to Manly P. Hall, Francis Bacon was actually Shakespeare. Francis Bacon wrote the King James version of the Bible. And if that's the case, like, we know Francis Bacon is like a Rosicrucian fucking Masonic, was
Mm,
like that kind of dude. And he worked with like John Dee. Come on, man. Yeah. Will I am shaking the spear. Exactly. 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 That's exactly it. Because will, I am will. God is the will of God, right? Like, I am will. That's a Luciferian statement right there. That is saying I'm God, essentially. And shaking the spear, who are you shaking it at? The sky? That would be
mhm,
God, right? You're shaking it at God. And so that statement, William Shakespeare, is literally a fuck you to God. And that's the guy who probably wrote the King James version of the Bible. That's what I'm trying to say. So
yeah,
that same dude that's like literally got a name, that he made a name where he's like, fuck God, he's also making the Bible. So just pointing that out. And he put a
deep
lot of
shit.
yeah. And by the way, Shakespeare, as we talked about, super hard to read, just like King James version of the Bible. Whenever you go to Revelations and people like, Sarah Boston in the last episode was asking about what we thought about Revelations. Well, I think that it's hard to fucking read because Francis S. Bacon or Francis Bacon fucking took some Shakespearean style old English encoding of Freemasonic teachings and prophecy inside of it.
Yeah,
It's just wild. But yeah, exactly. You know the clan we're talking about, Cake in the Cup.
not
They're
the
out there,
Muse, but the
dude.
Mewtwo's.
Some might call them, yeah. I'll leave that up, or I'll take that down, but you guys saw it. Okay, temples were okay, okay. Every ancient culture preserved some form of the flood history, as we talked about the other day. And when mankind grows too dense in vibration, the higher law dissolves the form and consciousness is reset. This is something that Manly P. Hall believes, or at least that he believed that that's what the Noah's Ark was all about. Whenever in
Mhm.
reality, I think he's trying to just not believe the idea of the fallen, maybe. You know what I mean? Like, not believe that there was some fuckery that was
Yeah,
bad. I don't know. I wish that dude was still alive sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, it'd be crazy. Fucking. I mean, he's got some shitty rope, but like, fuck. You can use
yeah,
AI to like, dude. Did you see that there was a kid that died from a school shooting, and his parents, used AI to bring him alive through AI, like an AI version of him
yeah.
talking to like a news guy about gun violence.
Oh, come on, man.
Dude, that's fucked up, isn't it?
Bring him back to say
They're
hi to you or something. Not to
yeah,
talk to the
no, the
news.
parents
What the fuck?
okayed this. The parents literally
Jesus.
okayed this. Dude, it's so fucked up.
That is fucked up. No, you would want to bring him back to like talk to his sister or something, or like his
Yeah.
cousin, not to the
Yeah.
fucking news.
Dude, I gotta show you guys because I feel like you guys haven't seen it. This is crazy, dude.
That is fucked
Because I
up.
just thought about this and it's like I meant to talk about this recently and I forgot because we've been on so many series and guests. AI interview. Here, I'm gonna pull this up and see if I can find it. Yes. Oh yeah, this is it. Let me see if I can get the actual video though. I don't know if this is it. It's a picture of the video. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, okay, perfect. Here it is. 1 second, guys. I'm gonna pull y'all up. This is fucking crazy. I think I might have to change this though.
Yeah, I'll have to mute when you do it.
Yeah, I'll have to mute my shit. It's so dumb. It's because I have it on my speaker. I'm not using headphones.
Mm.
I need some wired headphones. I'm super paranoid. I don't want to wear Bluetooth anymore. Okay. You got it? You see it? Oh fuck. I lost it. Okay, we good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'll mute myself in a minute. Sorry if it echoes, guys. There's gonna be like 10 ads.
All right. If you want to share anything or have questions, I'm all ears. Just let me know.
Joaquin, it's Jim Acosta. I was wondering if you could tell me what happened to you.
I appreciate your curiosity. I was taken from this world too soon due to gun violence while at school. It's important to talk about these issues so we can create a safer future for everyone. What would you like to know more about?
Joaquin, I would like to know what your solution would be for gun violence.
Great question. I believe in a mix of stronger gun control laws, mental health support,
This
and
is
community
demonic.
engagement. We need to create safe spaces for conversations and connections, making sure everyone feels seen and heard. It's about building a culture of
All right.
kindness and understanding. What do you think
Let me
about
hit an
that?
ad.
I think that's a great idea, Joaquin.
I mean, that's clearly, I don't know. How fucked up is that? I mean, come
That's
on, bro. That
crazy,
is so
dude.
fucked up. What the hell, bro?
I feel bad.
His parents, though, how much do you think they got paid? Allegedly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't know. I feel
I
bad
don't
for
know how
that kid.
litigious people are. But I'm just saying, dude. Yeah, if you put yourself in the parents' shoes, it's a real mess. Exactly. How do you
Yeah,
get
that
yourself
guy.
mentally? I'm sorry, man.
Poor guy.
Get sponsorship, get more monitors and hardware. Yeah, we'll work on that. We are working on that. We're working on some sponsorships, but to be honest with you, man, I'm not a big like I'll figure it out. We'll see how it goes.
Things are in the works.
Yeah. Oh, maybe maybe they're talking about the fact that that AI version of that kid was so bad that they actually need to use like make it better. That could have been maybe that. Imagine they got paid. I mean, I couldn't have. Yeah, 7 grand. Did you guys know? While I got a few people in here, you guys know $7,000 is just about um $7,000 is just about as much as Judah got paid to betray Jesus back in the day in silver.
Damn.
It's pretty weird, isn't it?
That is so fucking weird.
It's fucked up, actually. The more I think about it, like the amount of money that he got to betray Jesus is equal to the shekels. Wait. Yeah, the shekels then is equal to the fucking shekels they're paying now, dude. It's just crazy, man. Like when you account for inflation, like somebody asked Grok and they're like, yeah, it actually is.
Damn, dude, he was down
That's
bad.
AI, dude. That's AI doing math. That's crazy. Yeah, Sam pushing us out of short was fucking dope, dude. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did see that. That was sick.
Yeah. By the way, they took down Silent Weapon 6. I just put it back up on Spotify. And we're gonna do another deep dive on Bell Labs, and we're gonna get into this other national laboratory that was more like military based. There's a couple of different ones that are similar. I think we'll just do a deep dive on them all. Welcome, Sarah Boston. Fuck yeah, I'm not wearing none of that. All right, let's do it. Let's get more symbology going. I'm sorry, I just thought about that. I was like, how messed up is that, dude? Dude, Seven Seas Kills, bro. He does like a whole different style that's so necessary that nobody does. Seven Seas, like, when like I told him, I was like, people that are like, you got to follow the dot or follow the, connect the dots and follow the money. That's literally
Yeah.
that's all he does, bro. He just looks at like who worked at this company, who takes money from this company, and then he connects it all together on a literal grid, like named a line
Right.
everywhere. It's
I did
the
see that when I was
epitome of
editing it. Yeah.
It's the epitome of detective work, dude.
Hell yeah.
It's so good, dude. I mean, nobody's doing that kind of shit.
Nah, not really. We're not drawing no pictures.
Yeah, we connect ideologies, right? Philosophies. I'm big into philosophy. I would have been a philosopher if it was lucrative.
Yeah.
So Hall ties the rebirth of the Atlantean wisdom to a hidden lineage that kind of kept going afterward, the Brotherhood of the Flame, or the Brotherhood of the Snake, the Dragon. And these are the pre-scientists who preserved. Pre-scientist is very important, by the way. It's the scientist class, But alchemy, Kabbalah, all these things, Pythagorean and Hermetic philosophies that were born out of that, as well as the mystery schools of Egypt, Eleusis, and later Freemasonry, were all born out of this kind of spread of Atlantean primordial science.
Mm.
And their symbol is the torch or the flame. And there's a book. It's a great book to read. It's called The Initiates of the Flame. I highly recommend it. It's understanding that you're reading how they feel and the way they think, right? In the
Yeah.
way, because I like to read how they're being taught to think. It's pretty much what it is. And it's very helpful, kind of understand the mentality and ideology of people
Sure.
that you're against.
Right.
Prometheus stealing the fire, or Lucifer, the light bearer, Hermes with the caduceus, which is what we see on the ambulance, right? You got the snake wrapped around the staff.
Mm.
All encode the same archetype, which is the return of divine intellect to a darkened world. That I would argue they darkened themselves, and then now they're going to be the ones to bring the divine intellect. Like, I don't know. I just don't trust. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So Atlantis was a prophecy. Hall warns the Atlantean patterns repeat itself, and that each age might rise great power through sacred science, and then falls when the science is used without virtue, like AI that's coming out soon. And then when that's used without virtue, a major fucking cataclysmic fall will happen. Why?
Mm.
Because the micro macro aspects of how our universe works, as soon as we get that like fucked up, it happens on a macro level. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I believe that's real, by the way. There's something to that. So the modern civilization, with its mechanical and electrical genius, divorced itself from spiritual wisdom. And this mirrors Atlantis at its end. And that's how I feel about today as well. So we'll see how it goes. So it's kind of a warning and a mirroring of what could happen now, the whole story of Atlantis, if you think about it.
Yeah.
And ultimately, Atlantis symbolizes the submerged half of the human psyche and the forgotten wisdom buried beneath the rational intellect. Everybody's talking about the fourth turning. Everybody's talking about the fourth turning. Which, by the way, I keep thinking this in my head, so I'm just going to say it. Every time I hear about the fourth turning, I do 4 turns in my head. 1, 2, 3, 4 turns. That's a fucking square? Like, what are we saying? Like, why is it called that? I don't know. I don't know why I think that, so I'm just going to point that out. Like, 4 turns is a fucking square. You just went in a circle.
Yeah.
You square the circle, and now you're doing alchemy.
I don't know. Maybe it's like turning points.
Yeah, okay, explain if you don't mind kicking a cup what it is, or we could look it up in a minute. I've been meaning to look it up. I actually keep forgetting. Oh, 4 generations keep repeating. Okay. Yeah, it kind of it's like the 80-year rule. Like after World War II, it's been 80 years, so now we're due for another like reset, essentially,
Yeah.
of war. Everything does happen in a little bit of a cycle. The Mirror of the Ages. Mainly Pial taught that history repeats in a symbolic form. and that the same energies appear wearing new masks. And currently, the material kings are harnessing ether science, I think, like electricity, vibration, light, magnetism, and digital quantum sciences and the subtle forces of information itself. And they're using it for like they're totally just divorced from any spiritual nature.
Yeah.
And I think that that's very dangerous. If any of this is real, I think that's very dangerous.
Mm.
And they're chasing the same alchemical dream to remake man into a god through artificial means and to build new Atlantis that Francis Bacon envisioned, but stripped from the soul that it could have. So the new temples of light in Hall's time, light symbolized divine illumination. And so today, light is literally weaponized, like with LED, your screen glow, your screens, laser, surveillance optics. We live inside of a cathedral of false illumination that seems to be growing, and a synthetic gnosis where the light comes not from the spirit, but from the data that we retrieve and receive and implant in our bodies. So the screen replaces the altar. Your algorithm replaces any divine law that you may, like go by. And then the
Yeah.
network becomes your new Acacia or Akashic record. Not yours, really. It becomes like the whole system's Akashic record. And then AI becomes essentially the demiurge, which I think is legit what the fuck it is. And then this is the digital shadow of enlightenment, or the dark enlightenment, as Isaac Weishaupt calls it. Shout out to Isaac Weishaupt.
Shout out.
I mean, when he talks about the dark enlightenment, he's essentially talking about what I just laid out. So the priesthood of the Cirque, we could call this, actually, this is pretty fire. I forgot about this. So ancient solar priests used to guard sacred knowledge responsibly, and the material kings would corrupt it for the empire. Today's version is the technocratic priesthood, or a circuit priest.
Mm-hmm.
Engineers, financiers, and intelligence-linked think tanks all view consciousness as programmable. And they want to program you because they want to control you, right? So that's the whole idea, too. And they use the same occult laws as the ancients understood, like symbolic resonance, rhythm, polarity, or vibration. But they apply them in a way subtly to you for mass hypnosis, programming or predictive programming, and neuromapping your brain to initiate you into some artificial gnosis, or like kind of, program your mind into like literally, essentially it's like a demon almost, bro. Like people have been changing little by little from the content that they take in, but the content that they take in is created in this way. And if you believe that there's any spiritual or like kind of something going on where you need to be spiritual in this world, the lack of it would be, so that's what you get where I'm going with that, where it's like it literally changes people.
Yeah, it's kind of like in a
Possesses
way
them.
how they do with music and shit. I mean, music is probably one of the outlets that they do that shit through. And if
Yeah,
you
that's a
know,
fact.
like people talk about how music changes over time and shit, like through generations and shit. The overall sound of music changes. Maybe that's got something to do with it. Over time, the sound keeps evolving and kind of turning away new people, but also grabbing other people too,
Oh yeah, 100%.
fine tuning it.
I saw something the other day that said that they were using house music for mind control or something, or like somebody was working with them to try to like put some kind of frequency that would fuck with your mind in there. It reminded me of you because I know that you like to go to those festivals and shit. So I was like, oh yeah, dude, they're doing that shit, bro.
Dude, there is some people, it's certain people, certain producers that make the different sounds, but there's some fucking sounds that make you go like, whoa.
Oh yeah,
They make you feel a little something, little type of way.
it's real, bro. Dude,
Yeah.
that's Bell Labs, boy. No, but it's real, dude. Yeah. So essentially, these motherfuckers are just black magicians of data technology, and what I worry about is like, kind of like I mentioned on Tinfoil Hat. I was like, I don't know if nukes are real, but the splitting of the atom is a big deal because they access the quantum realm for the first time, like physically with technology and science and not spiritually. You see what I'm saying? So they
Yeah.
physically pierce the veil without doing it spiritually. And so who cares about the bombs? What does that implication mean? You see what I'm saying? What does
Yeah.
that mean for us? And then quantum science and computers and everything else that came out of it. And then we know that the technology is being used to hack our body and things like that. It just seems weird to me. It
Yeah.
seems like there's something deep there. But
Yesterday, I watched a video on it was like a simulation on what would happen depending on how close you were standing to a nuclear explosion. It's completely unrelated, but you made me think of that. So
no, yeah. I've seen a lot of those recently, especially because of all the fear porn about every fucking thing you can imagine lately.
yeah.
Nuking, this, that. As a matter of fact, don't let me forget, dude. There's some people that are so lost in this world. I found myself trying to have a conversation okay, I'll just say it. They were like, America is Christian. That was what they said.
Mm-hmm.
I said, well, the freedom to practice whatever religion you practice is more important than America's claim to Christianity. And that opened up a whole thing. I was like, oh, these people are
Yeah.
fucking lost, dude. These people are lost. I was like, you understand that America was started by Freemasons who despised the church because they were called heretics and killed for their beliefs. So they made a country where everybody could practice what they wanted, so nobody would be hurt for what they chose to believe. And
Mm.
now you have totally lost the plot of what America is. And now here we are in 2025, and people that are like right-wing Christian, whatever, are sitting here being like, no, get rid of everything but Christianity in America. And I'm like, dude, this is what the fuck we've been talking about. The whole traditional Christianity taking over shit.
Yeah.
Dude, it's real. There's people I know that are doing this right now. Now I'm like,
Yeah.
after we talked about it, I'm like seeing people doing it a lot. And I'm like, this is actually crazy, bro. I'm like, you guys have lost the plot. I'm a constitutionalist, so I believe in the real America that like is real, not whatever the fuck you guys are living in, dude. This democratic bullshit. I'm like, you guys call it, the Muslims, the liberals, the Democrats. It's like, no, it's the fucking same banking cabal families, the same fucking Babylonian, who knows, that are doing the same shit. And you guys, we're fighting over each little group.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It pissed me the fuck off, dude. I tried having a whole conversation and they just, people just are, they just want to belittle you right away. As soon as it's like, okay, I'm trying to actually speak some real facts to you. You know what I mean? I'm not being disrespectful. You old dumb motherfucker. You know what I mean? Because like so anyway. I think some people may agree. 100%. Fuck yeah, equilibrium. Hell yeah. That's what equilibrium be on. Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, man. This over tradition, people got to realize, dude, it's the freedom. As soon as I take away your right to practice your religion, now you get to take away my right. Who gets to choose what version of Christianity rules America? Is it Pentecostal? Is it Catholic? Is it, you know what I'm saying? There's so many versions of Christianity. How can you say that's such a broad statement, too? Like, do you know how dumb that is to say? The more I think about it, the more I think about how actually fucked we are because people are that stupid. And then you actually speak to them and they're like, gone. Nothing.
Yeah.
Sorry, dude. I had to get that out because that happened like right before we got down here and
You're
started
good,
this.
man.
I was like, these motherfuckers.
Hey, you
Like
had to get that one out.
We're
definitely.
lost, dude. You're so lost.
Oh shit.
Anyway. Yeah, dude. It is fucking okay these days. Slap the shit out. It's a good thing it was digital. All right, that's enough ranting for myself for now. And also, I get a little passionate for the 2-star motherfucker on Apple. Here's the thing, okay? I get a little passionate and I get excited about I actually enjoy doing this, so I get excited about what we're talking about, right? And I try to actually let her finish speaking every time. And then as soon as there was dude, she would literally, I could tell that she was ready for me to talk, so I would talk. And I was like, it was kind of often, but what do you want from me? You know what I mean? Do what I can. Anyway,
you can't please everyone, dude.
You can't, bro. This is my vent so, dude. This is a venting episode, dude.
Symbolism turned venting.
Yeah, dude. Hall wrote that true alchemy was spiritual refinement, not the making of gold, but turning leaden consciousness into luminous awareness, as we've laid out here, but the modern alchemists have flipped that formula and they seek to extract gold from human experience while degrading the soul into base matter. And a mechanical man, predictable, harvestable, and monetized, is way better, and it's an inversion of a transmuted man, a better man, an enlightened man. So it's a soul dissolving system that they're trying to build, essentially.
Yeah. I don't want my soul dissolved.
Right on, Cake. Farkum. I'm with you. Farkum.
Fucking Farkum, dude.
Farkum, dude. I'm with you. So the Tower of Babel is being rebuilt. Atlantis fell when its kings built technologies that violated the natural order, and the Tower of Babel is that same symbol. Remember symbolism, that's why that's important. Man trying to ascend to heaven through artificial architecture. But the modern tower is the global digital grid that we talk about, satellites, 6G, surveillance networks, a lattice meant to reach omniscience without wisdom. It mimics divinity, but really it just collects data and then just regurgitates to you something that undivine people have came up with.
Yeah.
It's a counterfeit oneness that they sell you as well. The Tower of Babel, you'll speak without, you'll be able to speak without talking and all that bullshit. That's what they're selling you, is the Tower of Babel. This is the demiurgic imitation of what Logos would be, which is enlightenment.
Yeah.
So this is pretty crazy, dude. I mean, I'm with that, bro. That is exactly what I think is up.
You with that?
I'm not with it, but like I do think that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
Like I'm not
You
with
believe
it.
that. You
I don't
believe
like
that.
that. I believe it. It's my opinion.
Yeah.
But I got some research behind it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I take it from the horse's mouth. You see what I mean? So what do you want from me? So Hall wrote that if man forgot that consciousness preceded matter, then he'd worship the reflection instead of the source. That's pretty, actually, that's a banger, bro. If man forgot that consciousness preceded matter, then he'd worship the reflection instead of the source. So he would worship the reflection of matter if he forgot that consciousness preceded matter instead of the source. That's a fucking riddle, dude.
Yeah, it is. So you
Isn't
said
it? Like, you tell me you fucking get that when I first say that. You know what I mean?
say it one more time.
Okay. All right, let me find it. If man forgot that consciousness preceded matter, he'd worship the reflection instead of the source.
Right.
That's fucking,
Right.
that's some fucking riddle shit. And that's what
Because
also, like,
motherfuckers look in the in the water and they see the reflection. They're like, oh, look at that.
yeah. So I forgot. Let me try to put myself in the guy's shoes. So look, I'm a guy, right? I'm walking around in the woods. And I'm like, fuck, dude, I
Alright.
forgot that consciousness preceded matter. Right? So then, like, what's the next step after that? I'm worshiping reflection. The reflection instead of the source. What is the reflection? Well, I forgot that consciousness preceded matter. So therefore, I'm worshiping the matter because I'm not worshiping the source, which is consciousness. Boom. We got that shit, boy. That's what
Bow.
that is. Yeah. So in other words, he's saying worship your consciousness. That's a Luciferian statement. Sorry. That's what that is.
All right.
So the prophecy fulfilled in technotheism, where humanity prays to algorithms, seeks immortality through biotech, and uploads the soul into circuits. That's the kind of shit we're looking at now. Talk about it. Talk about it. Hey, talk your shit.
Talk your shit, twin.
That's what I tell people. Like when I invite
Talk
people to
your
come
shit,
over.
twin.
Yeah, talk your shit, twin. When I tell people like come through, I'm like, yo, come through. I'm like, come talk your shit, bro. Come on, talk your shit on the show, man. So, like certain people, you know, that are fun.
Oh yeah.
The material kings have resurrected Atlantis, not in marble, but in cloud servers and neural nets. And who are they? The Ellisons, the Peter Thiels, the Elon Musks. These are these material kings, these black magicians with digital temples that are humming with artificial life that they want to sell you as this new light bearer, this idea of a higher intelligence. But it's born of the same fallen spark, the Luciferian fallen, angelic, non-spiritual consciousness that they're trying to give you. So yeah, there it is, dude. Stand in the midst of illusion without being consumed by it. Hall said that the initiate's path is to stand in the midst of of illusion without being consumed by it. So don't fall for the illusion that you live in. What's the modern mystery? To walk through the synthetic light of the digital Atlantis and remember the inner sun that you have. I forgot that. Oh yeah, to decode symbols, not worship them, and to use technology as a tool and not to idolatrize it. I love making up words. And to restore the lost balance between intellect and intuition, between the machine and your soul. There's you can do that to an extent, but you can't do that whenever you fucking plug yourself in, dude. You're not keeping that balance once you're like Neuralinked up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm Neuralinked up. It's over.
Neuralinked up. It's over, dude. I'm starting my car with thoughts.
You're starting your thought. Yeah. You're so fucked. Justin's fucking dude. There's gonna be a day that comes where I'm gonna come in here and be like, "All right, guys, it happened. Justin, he did it. He blames his girlfriend, but that guy's plugged in, dude."
Dude. I don't think I'll go that far, but that would be fucking tight, though.
Mm-hmm. Deutsche Bank is shorting AI stocks to hedge against data center losses. Dude, I think the data centers are. I don't know, man. There's been a lot of fucking like internet outages, a lot of weird already, and I feel like it does have something to do with the stress on the grid a little, and all the other shit. It's coming, dude. There's gonna be something weird, EMP shit, whatever.
Yeah.
I hope
You
we
said
don't
I'm
get
gonna
the
do it.
AI.
I'm not gonna do it, and if I do, I'll use my powers for good until they turn me off.
I'm dead. That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy. My boy Justin, man, I wouldn't let him turn to the dark side, dude.
Don't let me do it, dude.
I couldn't let him
Don't let
turn
me
to the
go.
dark side. So you guys saw that Genesis fucking EDM show that they did at the pyramids of Giza, right? I talked to the Harvey about it on the tech whistleblower.
I did see
Did
that. Yeah.
everybody see
Well,
that?
yeah, I saw it. I don't know when I saw it, to be honest with you, but yeah, they did do a show at the pyramids.
Did you see? It was called The End of Genesis, and then you got a fucking machine like bashing through the glass, and it was being done at the pyramids of Giza.
Who performed there?
It's
I
just
didn't
very
even see.
symbolic. When we're talking about symbology, it's very symbolic. It's like a fuck you to God is what that is. It's Quantum DJ. That was the name. It was called Quantum DJ, which is also what I just said about the quantum realm, dude. That's some sus shit, bro.
Oh, damn. A lot of techno and like um I guess you could consider it house music. I don't even know. It's more like techno and like drum and bass type shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Ones where motherfuckers jumped up and down like this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
I think you're right, Living Man. I think you're right, Living Man. I don't think that we do get. I think you're exactly fucking right. You know, I think the Trojan horse is the idea of eventually this tech will get better and we will plug in. But in reality, they just want to control. They just want you with the wearables and everything else so they can control you. And then once you're locked in, it's done. And what's simulation? What are you talking about? I wasn't going to put you in anything. Like, you're not. If anything, like, yeah. Because you've heard of the prisons, right? That they have now where they'll simulate your consciousness. And in like 24 hours, you'll live like 5 years in your brain. And they'll make you feel everybody's pain. Like, you'll feel your pain for 25 years and everybody in your family's pain. Like, they make it where you feel it all in like however long you're in your little virtual cocoon.
You aren't going to be able to get the admin chips unless you like work at the factory. It's going to be like new like Nike shoe drops or something. You have to know someone on the inside to be able to get them.
Yeah. Let me try to find this. I think it's like a digital prison. What the fuck would you call it? Not digital prison, but like virtual prison probably. It's probably better. Have you heard of what I was talking about? Where they fucking put you in a thing.
Where they put you in a thing?
Yeah, bro. They put you in that thing, bro.
Fuck.
They put you in that thing, boy. No, for real. They put you in a virtual prison. You're there for like 24 hours, maybe a couple days. Fuck, man. Virtual prison. Simulation. I don't know what for prisoners. Artificial. I mean, uh, fuck, man. Am I tripping? Is this not real?
Virtual prison simulation for prisoners.
Dude, fuck. They literally like pretty much plug you in
Mhm.
and then you just live a prison sentence for like 2 days. I couldn't find it. Fuck it. Oh, okay. Equilibrium. See, I'm not tripping. Equilibrium report saw it too. It's out there. I just don't know the name of it. So one day I'll find it. But you know what's funny? So Trump was talking about getting everybody a med bed. And I think these med beds are really a guise for like maybe that, right?
Mhm.
Where they put you in a little cocoon, they just put you in the motherfucker. Or like, MAID in Canada where it's like assisted suicide, but there's people being like forced to commit suicide. They're just like kind
Yeah.
of forcing people into it. Yeah, that type of shit, bro. I could see that kind of thing too. Nobody's getting a medical bed in their house.
Well, he wanted it.
Like where the little robot arms fix you. Kind of like
He
in that
wanted
movie Alien.
He
Or
wanted it.
no, that movie was what was that movie? Oh fuck. Prometheus. Good movie, man. It's everything we just talked about, dude. Good movie, man.
That's like
That's
the
what they're trying.
prequel to the Alien movies or some shit, right?
Right. If you remember the concept of the movie, it's the idea that aliens or whatever, humanoid aliens came here and seeded humanity and created us. Right?
Yeah.
That's what they want you to believe, like with the Anunnaki and shit. And then they're gonna come back and kill us later, but then they couldn't because those black aliens and shit killed them first.
Mhm.
And so they never made it back here to kill us. That's like the Anunnaki story, bro, except for the part where they die or whatever and don't come back. Like the whole idea with the Anunnaki is that they created us, they leave, and then they're supposed to come back eventually and finish whatever they did, which was enslaved us to mine for gold.
Whoa.
That's the story, apparently, if you believe it. I don't believe it. I
Like
think
the
it's bullshit.
Celestials in Marvel, dude. They make a new fucking planet, and then over time, that planet turns into a new Celestial.
Yeah. That's a wild move.
Wild, dude.
All right, well, it's been about an hour here. Hold on a second. Let's see what else we got here, guys. Because I got the juice, I got the best fucking book for any kind of symbology you could ask for right here. So we got Pythagorean astronomy. We got fucking Huh. This is a good page here. Okay. The disciples of Pythagoras highly revered the planet Venus because it was the only planet bright enough to cast a shadow as the morning star. Venus is visible before the sunrise, and as the evening star, it shines forth immediately after the sunset. Because of these qualities, a number of names have been given to it by the ancients. Being visible in the sky at sunset, it was called Vesper, and as it rose from the sun before the sun, it was called the false light, the star of the morning, or Lucifer, which means the light bearer. Because of the relation to the sun, the planet was also referred to as Venus, Aphrodite, Isis, and the mother of the gods. That's some deep shit, boy.
Yeah, dude.
That's what I like right there. That's wild. It is possible that at the same season of the year in certain latitudes, the fact that Venus was a crescent could be detected without the aid of a telescope. They're just saying it's the brightest star besides the sun in the morning, which is why they call it the false light. Lucifer, the false light.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy. Oh, this is pretty fire. I'll skip over it. Yeah. Pythagoras. We must avoid with our utmost endeavor and amputate with fire and sword, and by all other means from the body, sickness from the soul, ignorance from the belly, and luxury from a city, sedition, from a family discord, and from all things excess. Okay, this is fire. I'm going to say it the right way because I read the commas a little bit wrong. From the body, sickness, from the soul, ignorance, and from the belly, luxury, from a city, sedition, and from a family discord, and from all things excess. We must amputate it with a fiery sword. That's a wild fucking dude. They were some fucking bad motherfuckers back then, dude.
Yeah, dude.
They're like, look, man, if you ain't trying to be out here being the best you could be, go fuck yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Amputate
bro.
yourself. Not
About
literally,
to
but you know.
make that sword go flame on.
Mm-hmm. Pythagoras believed that there was no crime equal to that of anarchy. Isn't that funny? He thought anarchy was
Mm.
fucked. Because you got to have law and order, dude. All men know what they want, but few know what they need. Pythagoras warned his disciples that when they prayed, they should not pray for themselves. That when they asked things of God, they should not ask things for themselves, because no man knows what is good for him. And it is for this reason undesirable to ask for things which, if obtained, would only prove to be injurious. And honestly, if I ever pray, bro, it's never for myself. That's a real thing. There's something to that. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
There's something to that, bro.
Yeah.
You ever pray, Justin?
No.
Fuck no, dude. Justin ain't. Hey, you know what this is here? So we got a little yin yang in this show. Okay. You see that 6 right there? If it was a lowercase g, what would be the difference between that and a yin yang sign? Probably not much, right?
True.
Pretty fucking close, dude.
Yeah.
That's me and you. That's me and you, dude. You know what I'm saying? Good vibes for the fucking with the approach to life. You're like, you're like, no. I can tell there's not a spiritual bone in Justin's body. Where does your spirituality go to, Justin? I love it. I like it. I like
It
it.
was lost in the wind. I don't know. I was like forced to go to church when I was a kid, and then
That
I just
ruin it
fucking
every time.
hated it. Yeah, it
It
just
ruins
turned me
people.
away.
They ruin people, dude. That's what they do out here in these churches, man. Especially like it's this fucking non-denominational where they sit there and you see people fucking crying and just, you know, like putting their hands up, like worshiping. They call it worshiping while they do the songs, and it's something about that feels so weird to me. It doesn't feel real. It feels fake. Like I don't know what it is. It's just weird.
Yeah,
Like, dude, this isn't right. Ever since I was a child, I was like, that's weird.
I mean,
That's not right.
I have like vivid memories of being a kid in church and people like fucking freaking out like during a song or like during a sermon. I'm like, are they joking or what? Like,
Yeah.
the fuck?
I agree. If you don't pray, at least at the end, yes, at least be grateful. Attitude of gratitude is how you fucking got to live your life. That's a fact.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm grateful for being able to wake up every day.
You know, some argue that the idea of
Grateful for
the
what I
feel
got.
good. The feeling you get whenever you're grateful, I feel like is equal to the feeling you get if you're like a real prayer person. Like if you're like, God, thank you for this and that. Like I feel like that's what they usually do, right? When you pray. So
Mhm.
what's the difference between that and gratitude? You know what I mean? There's really not
Yeah.
one. That's a great point. Cake in a cup. Fuck yeah, dude. One day I'm gonna learn how to do an Australian accent. That'd be fun. That'd be pretty dope.
Think so?
It'd be pretty fucking dope, dude. I don't like many accents. My buddy can do like all accents. I could do 0. Not one.
You could try it.
I could do like a wise guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come on. I can do like a wise
Come
guy really
on.
easy.
That was
It comes right
great,
out.
dude.
It comes right
Perfect.
out, dude. Like an old 50s Chicago. Yeah, see? You know, I'll fucking throw up the fist, like, you know, throw them backwards like I'm ready to rumble. You know, that kind of shit. That's real, dude. Shane Gillis does
Shane
do a
Gillis
fire
does do a
Aussie.
good Aussie, yeah.
How about that 9/11 joke though? Fire. Probably one of the most legendary jokes out there besides like space Jews.
Yeah.
That's a good
Shane
one too.
Gillis is on a fucking tear, dude.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah, dude. Well, yeah, we're just kind of like, it was a chill pod, symbology pod, whatever. We had a bailer tonight because we had to reschedule. It's okay. We'll fucking
It
get
is
at
what
him
it
next
is.
week.
We roll with the punches.
It's what we do. So yeah, just a little kind of this was a, what would you call it? We were dipping our toes into symbology. You know what I'm saying? We'll get deeper into it as time goes with Secret Teachings of All Ages coming up. Have I heard of the Morgellons? Morgellons. Nope. Is that a disease? Self-diagnosed, scientifically unsubstantiated skin condition. What? Is it people or a disease or a parasite?
Yeah, I got Morgellons last week.
Have you heard of Morgellons?
It sounds like it would be a disease.
It reminds me of, no, I've never heard of that. And I looked it up and it looks like some kind of skin disease. Parasite entities. The fuck are you talking about? You're freaking me out. Let me go find this. Dude, my
Said you
wife
had a
is like,
good steak there once.
dude, my
I'm-
wife,
I'm
my wife
confused
is on
now.
some fucking, my wife's on some parasite shit, dude. Don't get me started with this. Cause she's
What?
like, we gotta do cleanses. We gotta fucking, like, she's heavy on that.
You got bugs in there, dude?
Yeah. Oh, that's hilarious. Wait, somebody said I had a good steak there once. Wouldn't that be so funny if there's a parasite called Morgellons and then they made a restaurant called Morgellons and sold steak out of it? That's so ironic if that's a real thing in life. That is hilarious. How do you not know that that's a thing if you're like a you deal with meat? I mean, I don't deal with meat, so I give myself a pass. I have heard of that disease now that you mentioned that. What about the disease? Parasites. Everything's fucking parasites. I think everything's caused by parasites, inflammation, and I mean, I'm not a doctor, you know what I mean? But I just think that a lot of things, 99.9 things, inflammation, parasites, probably do a lot of the problem. I think your
Yeah.
inner flora cleans itself. And sugar. Sugar, 100%. I need an ivermectin to kill off the last of the corn syrup parasite. What? Corn syrup parasite? Dude, you guys, you're doing what my wife does. My wife does that shit and it drives me crazy. I'm like, stop, you're freaking me out. I don't like thinking of like shit like that in my body, dude. And then like, you
I
gotta
had
like
applesauce today. Does that mean I have parasites in my body?
applesauce.
Yeah, dude, it's got
You
fucking
retarded. I'm just
got
kidding.
corn syrup, bro. It's
No,
got,
dude,
it's got corn
fucking,
syrup in it, dude. High
dude,
fruit.
no.
The
Do you
shit.
like sushi?
Fuck no.
Wait a minute, back up. Hold up. They put fucking corn syrup in applesauce?
Yeah.
Since when?
I don't fucking know. The thing of Mott's that I read on it said it had it on it today.
Wow, that's sad. What up, Sicario? You're catching the end. What up? What up? We're just chilling. Chill pod. About to head out. We're talking about parasites now, and apparently everything that I enjoy has it. So that's fun. It isn't everything. That's crazy, dude. It all goes back to the Flexner report. Where fucking Rockefellers, they're like, you know what? We're done with holistic medicine. We're done with chiropractic. We're done with all that shit. We're just gonna go ahead and not treat or not cure anything. We're gonna treat symptoms. We're not gonna tell anybody about parasites anymore. We're gonna stop doing that. People knew about parasites in the late 1800s, and they were treating everybody for that shit back then.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, come on, bro. We just forgot.
They're gonna start putting
Crazy.
it in water, dude.
And dude, is there really that many fucking cows out there that they just can just constantly have places like McDonald's have food? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm getting at here?
I mean,
I'm starting to think that theory about people inside of fast food could
I think it's
possibly
just not meat. I think
be
it's just
real.
fucking like fake meat.
Yeah, that's a fact, bro. Yo, that's real. That's why you got the two lies. You get everybody arguing over two lies, right? One
Mhm.
lie, it's humans inside of the meat. The other lie, it's fucking Angus beef, 100% Angus beef. And the real truth is it's some bullshit, like you're saying. You know what I mean?
I think they like to say they do like 100% beef, but it's like who's to say they're not throwing fucking eyeballs and like nuts in there and shit,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Holy shit, the Cabbage Patch Kids. Hey, so God, dude, I just have so many things to research. I've been wanting to research the Cabbage Patch Kids. We did that World's Fair episode, and that was like a part of this. They were like selling kids. They were like clones, allegedly. They were created in like an incubator, dude. Back in the fucking early 1900s, man.
The fuck?
Yeah, it's like a whole thing, and they were called the Cabbage Patch Kids from Tartaria. It's a whole thing, dude. And I missed it whenever we did the World's Fair and the Tartarian shit.
Yeah.
We got to get back into that for that. It'll be worth it.
Whoa.
The Gospel of Thomas, that's Catholic gospel, isn't it? Have you guys looked at that yet? I believe that's a Catholic gospel. That one dude that looks like he's like Iranian, but he does Christian sermons online, like on social media. He talked about the Gospel of Thomas. I'm not entirely sure. I think I forgot what it was, but I've definitely heard about it. All right, I'm gonna look at that because I forgot. I'm curious. Gospel of Thomas, a non-canonical saying gospel discovered near Nag Hammadi, Egypt in 1945 among a group of books known as the Nag Hammadi Library. Okay, who's the Nag Hammadi? I've heard of them. A collection of early Christian and Gnostic texts discovered near Upper Egypt. See, a lot of the Gnostic shit that comes out later, a lot of times I have a hard time with it because, again, these are the Gnostics that run our fucking world. There might be, I don't know, man. Maybe, see, I'm still torn. This is where you find me at my fork in the road. I haven't quite decided when it comes to Gnostic, who's right. They've fucked with all the teaching so much. You're going to find yourself chasing your tail forever. I mean, of course, it's fun to try to figure out, but I'm at a point now where I understand everybody's philosophy, and I just kind of go with, like this. What did Krishna do when he was alive? What did Jesus do when he was alive? What did Buddha do when he was alive? You look at all these people and you lay them out, and you lay out their attributes and their characteristics. I'm not saying you lay out the philosophies or their teachings and then you say, oh, they're all the same. I'm saying you take the people, how do they treat people? How do they act? What do they teach? And then you kind of apply that and then leave the fucking rest of it. Who cares? Because there's been so much fuckery. Look at the people that inspired people to follow a higher purpose. Then you'll know what's worth really following. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the devil's in the details, literally. And the devil's in the details of the Bible that isn't Jesus saying like somebody talk about how Jesus treated a person and or Jesus talking about how to act or be, right? Like that kind of shit. Or Krishna or whatever. Not to say that they're all divine beings. I'm saying that they were people that inspired people to be more spiritual. That's a good thing. That means that it's worth looking into. Fuck Thomas and all that fucking shit. Because they take shit out of the Bible, then put it in, and it's like, how do we know what's good?
Yeah.
Library of Alexandria is gone, so who knows?
Well, I heard they had took that and made it into like a kid show about trains or some shit.
Oh, the Thomas, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that running the whole, yeah. Okay. Cabbage Patch Kids was when I was a kid. They all had them. I was about, yeah, I know, no. But there's something else going on with these Cabbage Patch clone, some weird shit. We'll get into it one day. All right, great episode. Towards the end, we just kind of fucked around. We may
Hell
cut it
yeah.
off. We may cut it off the official, like when we put it on Spotify. We might just slice. Give it a little
We'll see.
slice. You guys got the full raw cut. We can give it a little slice. Hell yeah.
If you're still here,
we'll be back.
keep an eye out.
Wait, what'd you say?
If you're still here, keep an eye out on Spotify and Apple. I think Apple too. For the episodes that got taken down. I gotta do my homework.
Yeah, Monday. Oh,
No, it was a joke.
yeah, he was fucking around. Justin likes to he likes to do it. The funny shit. So, and you know what? It keeps it light. Put the sugar on the black pill. So fuck. Yeah, Monday for the episodes you just mentioned. They'll all be out by then. Because we'll get it done over the weekend for sure. So Monday, all of the updated episodes tomorrow. Full 7 seasons dropping. People on YouTube just kind of get shit early. I mean, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's just what it is. Maybe you'll find it out. You'll probably find. I mean, we got shit in the archive, you know, and that's a good thing. Like people on YouTube, that's kind of an incentivization. Like, hey, you pull up on YouTube, you get shit a day. You get shit when it's happening.
Mhm.
You know. Same thing with Patreon. It's live on there as well. Saturday, if you guys want to tune in, it's gonna be in the morning hours, the wee hours of the morning. 10 Central Time. Wait, no, I'm sorry. Noon Central Time with William Ramsey. It'd be a great time. You guys pull up.
Fuck yeah.
Otherwise, have a great weekend. Otherwise, see y'all around.
Bye.